What up, world? It's your boy, just one of the guys down here. Well, I could be more specific. I'm a human. And just wanted to, you know, for the sake of all of us earthlings out there, just wanted to say, we love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home. We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home. Hi, I'm a baboon. I'm like a man, just less advanced, and my anus is huge.
Hey, I'm a zebra. No one knows what I do, but I look pretty cool in my white or black.
I'm a lion cub, and I'm always getting licked.
How's it going? I'm a cow. You drink milk from my tits. I'm a fat fucking pig.
I'm a common fungus.
I'm a disgruntled skunk, shoot you out my butthole.
I'm a marijuana plant, I can get you fucked up.
And I'm Kanye West.
We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home. We love the earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home. We love the earth. We are the vultures, feet on the dead.
We're just some rhinos, funny as heck.
I'm just a giraffe once with this leg.
Hippity.
What's up? I thought I'd look around. Why not? This earthquake happened. So 7.3 in Alaska. It was on the 16th, so 3 days ago. At this point, let's see. Maybe do this. Oh. Whoa. Today's are all over here. The first one is super on the left. Like amongst all these earthquakes. 16th. 1637 at 17, so it was after 19, after I don't know if everything was after, if that was literally the first thing. I wonder if there's a way. I guess I can do this. Start. When did it happen? Let's say the 17th. So we see some of it. Or no, do that. Search. It's got like all of them. 17. Let's do another one then. 16. Most of them. I guess I can do like this. And then and then do a little bit earlier at like 16. So that was 30 minutes after, a little bit less. I think that was after. Let's go to 19, 18. I don't know. When does it say it was here? I don't know why it's not showing up till there. Point is, I was hoping to try to, maybe I can get a distribution after that then. To kind of get an idea of if there's motion. It seems like there's motion, like the earthquake happened in the west and then energy is propagated east. That led to further earthquakes that really, to me, made me think of like a landslide deep in the earth due to pressures of like along layers relating to the magnetic anomaly map of the earth and basically current flows at play. I thought maybe there's something in there. We cut off the initial one. They're super, like, in an eyeball. There's also what seem to be patterns, like a line there that are kind of arrow-like. Like, it seems non-random, even though it's random-ish in appearance. Like, there's a non-random. Like, this one, it goes over here, even, like, seemingly maybe bends here. Or branches here. While still going over this way. Where there's, like, some preferential path here. Maybe another one below it, generally. Okay, let's just go back to normal map, I guess. How do I... Let's just go like this. Okay. That's interesting. They're like into the opening between North Maluku and Sulawesi. Off of the Philippine region. And then, like, going in this way, along this. Like, it's going this way and running into resistance in that area. That's, like, at play for why there's this stuff going on. But, like, making it past too. But going in here. And maybe some reason... Is there a volcano there? There are volcanic eruptions when they're like a diamond shape. But it could be like precursor? I don't know. Let's check it out. was like trying out this AI Gemini feature. It's like draw, I don't know, something simple, the boundaries of the continents or something, and this is, or regions of the earth or something. Geological terrains, and maybe, I think is what I said. And it just made continents. Earth, freaking Gemini thing. Okay. Well, there's no volcano. It's definitely an interesting location on the surface. I don't know if this area has a very good magnetic anomaly map. Here, at least, maybe in a technical paper somewhere, there's a more focused something. Yeah, literally, it's kind of missing around it. But we see this gouge that, like, if there's some propagation, it seems like maybe the propagation is going this way then. Like it goes, essentially current is flowing this way, and also it seems like up and around while some's going through between it here. It goes between it here and then kind of squeezes down and pinches through here above, though. Above this here specifically. And then continues across this way, out that way. Wow, current goes this way, and some of it goes in here, but some of it goes this way. And basically around this bulge of inflowing current, where then it goes up this way and makes its way around to then flow back around. Some of it also onto North America, flowing down this way, like, and stabilizing at some point with a flow into the Indonesian archipelago to make it an arc like this, like flowing into it and creating an arc with loops at the end, like a wave. Also another arc to it where it goes all the way over here on like a different energy level that's pointing more across this way over here to a very important location in the Earth's expansion process. But current was flowing this way, so it would make sense that it would kind of like diminish and not be able to flow as much this way and kind of fall off at a different energy level kind of thing, and maybe lead to earthquakes at times, at least, like in vibrationally. Like sometimes this is the path of least resistance for undercurrents versus over here. Other times over here is better, dependent on what the pressures are at any given time. But it seems like maybe currents went through like here and ran in here and went over here and just created earthquakes along the way. But can you guys hear whatever the fuck that is? I think my nose is like... Not that anyone's there, but someday. My life. Like, generally, maybe going down through this region of the, like, Philippine plate or whatever, that is later forming after a certain stage of the Earth's expansion. Where maybe it is more susceptible to currents too. It really looks like a chakra where current would flow through it too. And this kind of looks like a pathway through versus over here where it's kind of got like a stopper. Which reminds me of the Darien Gap. I never heard of this. It's kind of insane. Insane, you say, Mr. Insane Man, huh? We'll see about that, huh? Oh, Amelie? Amelie. I used to really like this movie for some reason. Maybe because the Darien Gap is a remote, roadless, and dangerous stretch of rainforest along the border of Panama and Colombia. So apparently, I guess like here, like generally this area is like impassable in terms of building a road. Like in modern times, we still can't build a road through it. So they wanted to build a road from like all the way up here, all the way down through to like down here somewhere. And they realized we can't make it through this area. And they tried and they tried. I looked into it somewhat, like at least 3 or 4 times across the decades. Even recently, they've come up with different ways. And essentially, they've just given up and ferry like across from like nearby to somewhere else nearby, and carry on, bring their cars on the ferry. But this region is impassable, and it's called Darien Gap, but it's also called El Tapón. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And Darien being someone involved in its discovery from a European sense, at least, I believe. I don't know why it's not showing up there at the top here. I thought I had seen it up there. There it is. Oh, no. Nope. It looked like a name. But the point is, it's impassable, and El Tapón, I don't know if translate, I don't know if without the, okay, the plug. It's called the plug. It seems the reason it's called the plug is because it prevents human navigation easily, so it kind of plugs the flow. But I was like, dude, this, it's like right here. I think it's like a plug. Like in the Earth's expansion process, this over here was generally folded in over here. And this point was, or actually it was folded, yeah, folded in, and then, fuck, I'm already losing it. This one, this point here was here. In some way, this was interacting between it with this folded up into the Gulf. How exactly this was interacting and all, if some of it's forming in the process of the expansion as the two continents pulled apart, as current flowed between them from over here. Basically, current was flowing this way. And then cutting through and going over here, and before any of this existed, and going in this path, whereas running into Papua New Guinea before it was moved, so that that Solomon Islands and over here were attached through these bond-like structures that broke, which are appropriate distances, etc. And then this one's Australia related. And then another one over here that's just like a sequence of bonds breaking as the Earth actually expanded. Another one up here that actually seems to have come later. I think these are all kind of considered later, though. Maybe they're all like the influence from earlier times, but the material is younger. Influence, that sounds kind of weird. Earlier in that the structure is older, but the actual material that the structure is composed of is more in when the Eastern Pacific was forming, rather than when Papua New Guinea at all were along the boundaries here. Where at this point was over there. This was closed in. Like this was here. And then maybe this was even over there. I don't know. This was here, so I'm not sure. I guess maybe just here was here. Well, this was over there as well, and then Australia was over there. Like this section was generally over there. All abutting one another before the Earth expanded and grew from this area. I don't know, I'm just kind of talking, I guess, but I'm just like, what am I talking about? It's got like a cross. So does this, I guess. Gives a different meaning to the cross to me. Okay, nice. So this earthquake, we can tell by these islands, this feature, and then this island are these things. Okay, I gotta turn that down. So basically the cluster is out off of the line of this island and then down off of like the far point of this one, pretty much in like a corner here Let's go back to normal. In a larger region here, so let's see. Also, I'll just look at the coordinates here because I think I was mistaken on the exact position when I was looking at it before. I'll just go like this, actually. So this earthquake was at 64.55 or 54.55. And then 160.47. About there. About where the pointer tip is. So it seems about accurate to go off of generally like here and then off of here. So they're kind of in this area. All around this high intensity magnetic anomaly. Which apparently there's in Stephen Burns, one of Stephen Burns' recent videos, he was talking about magnetic anomalies from this earthquake unrelated to these magnetic anomalies. But I thought, I wonder if it like influenced this at all, so it doesn't have the same magnetic anomalies. That would be interesting. It would kind of make sense. But so let's just kind of picture this blob as where these earthquakes are. So what do we see about this blob as we zoom out? The blob is along a margin, first of all. That's like here. Of the Aleutian arcs. But blob again. This here is generally pointing at the blob. So the low intensity where current flows, high intensity where it compacts material into mounds so that it basically can't flow or is much less able to flow because it's a wall. Because it has compacted material. So this is like a compacted material region over here in my interpretation. In my interpretation. Caveat. I assure you it's not doctrine. Write it down. Did you get your pen out, sir? Please get your pen ready. You're not going to want to miss this, sir. No, I don't even actually know where I'm going exactly. I'm kind of just looking. I did see some stuff, but after that, like, I'm not sure where we'll go. I don't know. But we see also, it's worth noting, there's kind of like a triangular region here that it seems to have maybe an opening over here. So if like current is in this area and generally, let's say it's generally flowing through here, through this region, possibly around here, possibly even as I feel most related is that there's like this bump here and then another bump over here and then another bump over here that are kind of like walls. And so if a current is flowing along this path and then down a little bit from pressures and then back up, some of it cutting through over there but continuing along this wall and then interacting in ways that where ultimately it makes it through to over here, maybe going up this way and all sorts of stuff, but ultimately going along a boundary over here. It kind of makes sense that there's a current that just generally flows, usually without any earthquakes, along this path, that then commonly applies some amount of force into this area under the crust that is either gaseous, water based, steam based, I guess, even at that point, if it's combo of the both. Combo of the both. I know it's high pressures in ways that maybe that's not reasonable. But then again, something's flowing, dudes. Like, you guys missed that there's flow. Dudes. Huge. Something is flowing. This looks so chakra-like right there. So many chakras on Earth. But anyway, so my thought is one element is a current is flowing generally from over here. And if we follow this, interestingly, let's scroll out a bit so we're following it. Where do we go? Or actually, that's right. We follow it. We kind of run into here. So let's just say it like tends around it. I don't know. I just kind of assume this area is relatively more in this kind of nature that we can see here, out to at least like around here based on over here, and that there's generally a wall type structure here. It's certainly interpretive given the data, but so maybe it's actually not coming from that way. But over here is the mantle puncture hole. So if we imagine generally a current is able to flow from there and make it over to here somehow by maybe going generally through here, where it's doing other stuff. So like some of the current is flowing down here, but like imagine it's flowing around and up and around here and down and up and over and down this way. And at some point, like it has nowhere else to go, so it just goes this way along a higher energy, essentially, where then it makes it over here, which maybe is pointing to the undercurrents increasing in energy, that it would be at a high energy place and have an earthquake that seemingly propagated eastward in terms of the aftershocks being almost entirely east of the earthquake. So another thing we notice is like this bend is generally, it changes around in this one and here, like it's pretty much at the corner of this structure. So certainly some other current is going up this way and running into it and going generally this way. In an undercurrent sense, it seems, I mean, I don't know what to make of things like this, I guess, in an undercurrent sense. It also is kind of protected from that, where pressures could maybe not get there. So if there's like a battle of pressures from generally over here going eastward, and then a battle of pressures of this northward current essentially running into it and being a sort of counter pressure, and then this one maybe blocks it somewhat, it would make sense that like if somewhere is gonna fail, it would maybe be in that area so the current can then more easily go this way. So like it's basically tug of war pushing the stuff just enough out of the way so current can go more that way probably. Which makes me think of these other earthquakes that were in Alaska. Like up here. I feel like these were recent. One day. No. Wow. Let's find this location. 66, 150, which is 150, 66 on this. I don't know why it's tilted. $66, 150. About there. So it's really happening up in this area, not so much in this area. Maybe it's able to flow through here more. Where did they go? There's definitely a good amount down there. These are substantially smaller. This is a pleasant song. Iran. AI is located in no news. 18, 15. I'm like, is this some fucking attack on nuclear sites? Oh no, man. Okay, it looks kind of generally, like, naturally in line with the other things. Also in line with this, so probably not. I guess that would have been a better approach, but it's also this one. Maybe worth checking out what's going on. It was like here. What was I freaking looking at? Yep. Why, yes I am. Why, thank you for noticing. It seems pretty close to the edge. I'm just trying to determine how. I guess let's look at it. 83.28, 32.61. Already forgot. 83.28, 83.28, 32.61. That doesn't seem right. 83.28. This map puts it in Greenland. 32.6. Maybe that was just super off. 32. Oh, okay. So, like, up here, maybe? Uh, 32.6. 80. Yeah, so that was in this little pathway where there is resistance. It's kind of looking chakra-like even. With another chakra and a lobe and a lobe. Kind of vibe. Earthquake there. Let's see. Goes along this boundary. Points over. Generally at the Kursk magnetic anomaly. So I don't know what that would mean. Or maybe actually points more over here. To Asia. Oh my god. To this, where current is generally flowing here and dividing and going in here and wrapping around and going down and going right instead. So at this divide. It's like a starfish or something, like leg, or maybe Vishnu. Super Vishnu. Arm out this way. Arm out this way. Foot here, foot here. Arms on hips kind of thing too. I don't know. So current is generally wrapping around here, so it's probably wrapping somewhat more towards over here, and either going down here or over here, but for some reason it ran into resistance. Which would imply resistance along Gackle Ridge, I guess, region. Don't know. Where's Lomonosov Ridge feature? Oh, there's even like it's cut. That's quite the gouge. It looks so low resolution. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? That's so super sketchy. What the fuck, dudes? Is that the wall? My god. The wall is real. Oh, the other side is Gilgal. We live in a simulation. Shit, man, don't make fun of it. It's true. So it's over there. So interestingly, notice how the magnetic anomaly map kind of gives more immediate insight into this earthquake. It's like, oh, it's there. It's at a pinch point where current's flowing through. It's meeting another current, probably, that's generally flowing along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Probably north and south and different sides of the ridge. Undercurrents below the crust where it runs into it, but it's not always identical conditions, so things can change, pressure can build up, and that can lead to earthquakes at places like here, I guess. Whereas if we just look at like here, it's like, I mean, did this river or whatever, glacial, I don't know what that's termed, but fjord, I don't know. Whatever this thing is, would this have caused the earthquake? I guess there could be some contemplations of that, but it's way more prominent in here. Also, on a larger scale, it looks like we can kind of follow around a boundary. It goes around here, so let's follow it. Totally coincidence. Totally. Wow. It's cool how coincidences happen. Oh, man. It's funny. So I guess at least a portion of the current that went through here went up that way and went along a margin generally, though. Like ran in here and went along the margin in here, across here, generally across here. And bends here, though, like with a bend, where some of it could go through between Greenland and Canada, but also going up this way to over there. Wonder if we see any other. Odd that there's a cluster over here that's not at Iceland. Oh, and over here that's not at Iceland. Let's see where this is. 72.7 and 4. 72. I don't know which way for, maybe like there, or something like there, I guess. Nothing out of the ordinary. Maybe surrounding circumstances. Although this looks kind of like a mid-ocean ridge versus over here. Is that where the mid-ocean ridge is? Or is it over here? It's on the ridge. Okay, it's on this ridge. According to this, it's on the ridge, so whatever it is, it's on the, wherever it is, it's on a ridge. Seemingly around here, I think it was 77. 72. 72.74. 72.74. Yeah, about there. Okay, there we go. I found it. I must have been west. There. This does look like the mid ocean ridge. Like going this way and then going that way. There's probably some geological feature there that I don't know. It just makes me kind of curious. But so it's about here. The bigger picture of things. It's certainly generally in line with this boundary in Asia over here. I don't want to move the mouse too much. But it was generally in line, so it's like there. Ish. Maybe in line along this boundary. Kind of suggestive. A hexagon. I almost see a hexagon immediately. Or it's just kind of like here, and then there's something over that way, down. I don't know if hexagon is the shape, now that I'm doing it, but polygon. Something maybe not quite so sameness everywhere, but where that's generally where that earthquake was. Maybe not as clear as this one of something at play. Oh man. It also could go this way and turn and go over this way to Mariana Trench region. Maybe there's an aspect of it that goes from, oh my god, where that major earthquake was after having passed this way. It goes from here and generally bends over here. It goes this way. Almost like a sharp turn in a car where it's like skidding in like sand or something. But just continuously kind of location, and it just bends sharper than in other portions of its flow and just redirects it. Maybe I'm thinking, I suspect for there to be that size magnitude of an earthquake, it points to something like that might be possible there, where there's a sharper bend just based on the other earthquakes around there. and then goes in, goes over, wraps around this way, goes in here, earthquake, but then continues through this way maybe, where it bends towards the Mariana Trench. And then maybe it gets into the Mariana Trench region, but it's just like the Philippine, underneath the Philippine plate. In that region, it then is forced downward, where then it flows into over here where we saw those earthquakes. Let's look at 7 days. Dear Lord. Maybe it doesn't all go this way. Like, this is maybe even a less optimal way, and the more optimal way is actually to go through, generally still focus down, but to bend over this way, and to generally propagate along this direction, where then it interacts over here as well. It's hard to say on this type of map without looking at it more like this. What it would be pointing at, I can't really remember. Might just be pointing at the Scotia Arc. Or like generally over there, I don't know. Like southern South America. Also, I've called this the Angel and the Trident for a long time. Here's the Trident. With like sideways stuff here, and then upward, upward, upward. Upward, just spikes of like a trident type thing, and then like a snow angel below it here. Angel and the trident. And it may be obvious to some upon me saying this especially, but it didn't really occur to me that there's probably associations with Shiva until recently. So I noticed then with that thought, like here's something I notice. Like instead of just being a snow angel, I see more of like a kneecap here, and then I don't know if I'm drawing that well, and a foot that's kind of like dancing is kind of thing at play. So like Shiva dancing or something. Yeah, like this thing. And this. Let's compare. See what we can find. So we see Maybe even like a thigh coming over and around, so like the thigh, butt cheek region, maybe somewhere over there. All sorts of stuff going on over here that maybe mimics some stuff here. Maybe this stuff maybe having to do with his hair, how it is in the image. And then he's generally surrounded by a circle. Surrounded generally by a circle. I don't know if that's necessarily the... like there. Hair up here again. Maybe his head in that instance would be more up here. Where there seems to also be a sort of a circle. It's more like the center conduit. Like the spine area or whatever. Definitely looks to have little fingers. Definitely hands off the sides. I mean, it's going in the right directions, and like it could be going parallel with this boundary, but instead it's going off of it, at least there. Let's see. Relatively off of it most of the way. There's definitely some parallel spots. Base, like Antarctica. Almost. Also, there's this V shape. It's got a current coming in that's forming the Mariana Trench that gets in further at a different time. And opens this gap and basically forms the eye of the world, as I call it. But I noticed almost hinging right here and then down and over this way, basically. There's sort of, with like a boundary here, there's sort of a attempt to do it again, it seems. Maybe like going this way and like down this way even. Fucking ridiculous. Hey, future, isn't it ridiculous? Hope you guys don't have to deal with ads. People make ads. What do you mean? Fucking ads. Basically slave labor. We do unpaid labor. Sit there. Wait it out. There's your 5 cents. Fucking cucks. That's what they just did. That's what they do to us, dudes. Think about that. Every time you watch a commercial, they're wasting your time for pennies. Sure, they're doing it to many people, so they make a lot of money. But they're wasting your time for pennies. Slave labor, dude. And it's not even you getting paid. That's how little they fucking care, though. It's your time, not theirs. Slave labor. Future, though, is fully aware of that bullshit, hopefully, and doesn't fucking let that shit happen anymore. You can really see, like, a boundary here, and generally across this way. Like, it was going across, like it was going up here. Current was going this way, at forming the structure, but then current was going this way, like as a V. Or maybe even cycling ultimately at some point, like initially doing as a V, but then coming back and then turning it into an actual just cycle that then just kind of added layers, which would make sense for why it's so nicely bent here. But then it was flowing into this point, into Australia, which was there, and Papua New Guinea, across through here, into right here, which then moved. So if we follow this boundary, it goes over here, and what do we know? Solomon Islands. So current was flowing that way into here, but then at a later point, it did a similar thing. So it seems like it was flowing generally into the focal point and off of it and going up across pre-existing crust, though. That's the thing. In this case, it was really forming as the current was flowing, so it didn't like overwrite it at all. Whereas here, it tried to overwrite it, so it has like a cross current kind of going across here. But then bends down here more. Where it, like up here, it has this bend to it, albeit getting more sharp over towards the end. That's crazy. I never really noticed how sharp it got there. It starts off nice and bent, smooth transition, and then just gradually elongates. Slowly and oh, it goes to Philippines. To freaking Appalachia called Darrow? Pretty much. headpiece. It's kind of... Makes me think of how this is really rounded and then becoming sharper. And then different tiers. Huh. Let's look at this some more. Back this way. Back this way. Possibly going down here, bending, and going more up this way. To then end up over there. Rather than the mantle puncture hole. But there really is like a path by right next to it right here. That kind of has different paths too. Like it generally here. Along here. But then also generally here. That look related as well as generally a little further out here. As if it just passed through and went up that way. Maybe braced off of here even, ultimately in some fashion. However exactly it's passing through, maybe through here. Going up this way and that ultimately, I don't know. And then follow that over this way, go seemingly here, I don't know. And then up over here. Back to here, which was over there. Sorry, you don't want me playing. This is just someone's cover. I enjoy it. So slowly. Almost looks like a leg going this way. Another leg going that way, like off of the different sides. Kind of pointing to dancing. Wait for me. Also, his hair, Shiva's hair, like draping down through the Scotia Arc kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. So much. It's also kind of counter to this point. Which is where the Hawaiian Emperor's female chain begins. I feel like this earthquake opened some doors. Maybe literally. Both literally and figuratively. Okay, I could go on forever since I'm just kind of looking around. Certainly found some cool stuff. Some cool stuff. Magnetic anomalies. Consistently, I don't look at earthquakes that much. But when I do, I'm like, bros, you're not using this map. It's like a cheat code. This cheat code, dudes. This map cheat code.